has been a rock solid talisman of this squad, and now, and meanwhile, EF are pushing up on the long side. It's that man Xantares who opens up both his account twice to the P2 thick and fast, but instead that smoke will be clearing. Spink stuck down in the CT side. It's not as if either of them have catwalk control right now. Deha surviving for much longer than anticipated, but it's even going to be the clean.
Xantares being the one to kind of go toe-to-toe against the side of ENCE, and speaking of going toe-to-toe, Deha with the D.
On the exit frags. Xantares in the meanwhile, though, after a cracking pistol round with the AK in his hands, could the odds-on favorite to just break the deadlock and come out swinging, but he's gone down to Spinks. That's an AK that's fallen as well. Spinks looks to rinse to repeat. It's another frag with the Deagle, but eventually he will come to a close. It does afford Hades and Madden the opportunity to save
this. As Woxic, early on, getting the AWP out into play. They've gone for the full rifle buy, despite the fact it is going to be just a light investment from ENCE.
Yeah, forced back instantly. Meanwhile, Snappy gets caught in an awkward position. 5-7 has now been dropped to the dirt alongside Spinks. Woxic makes short work of him. It is those two scouts that survived from the previous round, but a perfectly placed flashbang and the follow-up damage from really expecting to do a great deal in this round. They're going to have a bite into the next one, but it's another clean,
flawless. So not only do they have the weaponry, they have a lot of money as well to work with, and what a beautifully timed shot coming out from Hades.
Will start to become a bit of an issue for the Tees. Oh, hold on a second. Madden, though. Madden is such an important trade, and he's going to come out second best here. Xantares sprayed up through the double doors.
That was Spinks coming to the rescue, and Spinks finally will fall. That's a B-bomb side defender getting taken down, and Madden being down to 26 HP. Does he want to take...
Shoulder peeking, forces Woxic for the shot. He has to fall back now. Goes back in. The flick is good. Do not peek these two players one by one, and you will get punished. Woxic now is all that remains. There's too many angles.
They do suffer a couple of casualties, though. That is something which is going to be... something that Eternal Fire are going to be aware of, and somehow...
So a stacked A side of the map. Eternal Fire, with all of their players on long, maybe walking into this, that Molotov can easily get extinguished. A well-placed counter flash will stop the T's from spilling out, and Snappy's not had to budge an inch. He can hold position. This is looking like a very scary crossfire, but a flash affords them safe passage for 2 entries. Deha's able to muster up the strength for 1 and add a second to the map.
Will be heading towards the B-bomb site.
It's unlikely to see any flashes come into play here. Spinks with 1. It's a labored spray for the second.
Indeed, gonna be just the pistols here. And for ENCE, it's about staying alive. It's about not losing any weapons to the pistols. And Emer's already found one. Snappy's in an uncomfortable spot here, but he will somehow manage to hold on. And Woxic trying to just run out from short and maybe try and sow some confusion rather in the side of ENCE, but not much you can do with the Glock. And this should be overall a pretty clean round coming out for the side of ENCE. We can already see the difference being made by the changes to the M4A1 Vince, right? You're not seeing too many players just having to go for this
players dearly. We saw it there in Spinks on the double doors. Meanwhile, though, Woxic missing that shot, and Hades will punish him. Removes the head, of course. 30 seconds left, and our molly gets tossed in from Madden. So deny the bomb plant, but Emor removes the head. I say deny the bomb plant. That was on the assumption that Madden can stay alive and put pressure down, and now Emor goes from strength to strength, from frag to frag. Deha keeping the dream alive, keeping this round in the scales, but it's been removed.
I think it was Madden towards who was playing towards ramp at the A bomb side. He didn't quite time.
Plume for the cross. Deha wants to go in for that peek. Shoots out with the AWP. Molotov there to try and stop the push, but it won't be doing too much on that front because Emor has gone in for the first entry, and Xantares is up close, and he's delivering with more frags. Already up to 11 in.
And Emor, once he takes him down, and even though Hades gets the trade there, at that point in time, Xantares...
Sure, on paper, maybe they should be getting beat off a team like ENCE, but you can never be 100% sure on this team. They always have that capability, that option.
Of course, if Madden and Snappy with the Deagle is able to at least find something that'd be big. Speaking of keeping those guns in play, one of the rifles has been taken off, and that is problematic. There's no one nearby to help him out, Vince. There's no one here to help Spinks, and Spinks has to decide whether he sticks around with the AK or the AWP and decides he has to let go of the AK-47. With 35 seconds, they need to make a move.
Oh, pulling a nade out. That's so brutal, but Emo gets both. How? He had no right to get both kills.
Round's done.
Shenanigans here. We know he's very capable of doing just that, but he misses the chance, and Snappy punishes him. But in comes Snappy to run into the embracing arms of Xfloud in lower tunnels. And now Emor, he's already had so much impact, 34 HP left on his name, but still takes down the head of Hades, who was caught unsuspecting. Diha now desperately needs this clutch, but he comes out. So two completely different angles. Speaking of him, he gets the kill on Madden. Slightly doing the talking, no bullets required. Smoke down to CT, flash out through, but Hades will get the upper hand onto Zantares. Finally, we're starting to see some of what ENCE have in store, but now Calyx goes in and removes the head of Snappy. He's also not sure if mid's going to get aggressed on as well. Now he can fully focus on this. He's got a teammate holding the middle angle. Emor on low HP once again comes out swinging and connects square on the jaw of Spinks. On the cross, Woxic has it locked. And Hades...
Well, you saw Calyx, using the utility towards short. It's still very early, obviously, but for them to kind of be struggling quite a bit over here, it's a bit of a worry, and that shows that they aren't exactly as unbeatable as some people might feel. That being said, though, it's a 2v2 right now as Diha running into the flames.
Parts of the map have just been cauterized and surgically removed. Madden now, though, will be adding to his kill tally, and there is the two players. Although Madden has backed away, it leaves Hades in an awkward spot. That flash does nothing, baits Hades out, and he will be fragged, but there's the counteractive kill, and Diha goes from strength to strength.
It's unlosable for ENCE, and I love the way they're stacked up as well. All the timing. Never mind Diha, though.
It's been more, I would say, the nature of how these rounds have been coming down that's been a bit of a concern. And Emor, he gets 2 kills.
Smoke the pop. No, actually gonna go for the dry swing there. The flash, though, doesn't blind player. Diha tucked in. They knows another player nearby. Molotov will flush him out. That's a bomb out in the open. And all the CTs have arrived. Spinks, unfortunate to not get the kill, but now it's a 3v3 as Diha's gonna find one alongside Madden, and it's all on Woxic.
Another clutch. This time he's got the AK. This time it's a little bit more doable. But there is Diha on the... Now Zantares is going to be picking up the mantle as well. There's still a lot of T's over here, but he removes the head of Hades. And Diha's out in the open, and Zantares will make short work of him. He is an incredibly solid pistol player. Woxic in the meanwhile, his woes continue. He really has
up towards short, and Calyx makes contact. He finds one, and that should be a rotation taking place from the CTs.
Oh, beautiful shot. But Madden comes back with 2 of his own. P250 still in play. There's still enough health. He could feasibly pull this one off, but his teammate, his partner in crime, has been bested. And he can't walk peak. Now the P250, he's got an opportunity as they push towards him. P250 in for one more. Madden has every chance to clutch this one out, but Emor's up against him. He's been a man on a mission so far. And can the Turkish player do it one more time? Yes, he can. What an important
free kill for Spinks, but there is Woxic nearby. And Spinks has no idea. Surely he has no idea, but now he's spotted him out. 2 targets to work with. He's got backups well nearby, but his smoke is keeping Diha at bay. So it's got to be Spinks doing everything by his lonesome, as he will find Calyx.
Oh, such scrappy flashes. Will be afforded the luxury of these 2 weapons going through into the next round.
Clean round for ENCE. Tunnel fire, though. They do have those saved weapons to work with. I say that one of the weapons will be taken care of. And a 5-7 from Zantares and a scout from Woxic to answer back. Woxic would get another kill with the scout. And a 3rd as well. What is going on?
Madden's still alive. Still got a chance, but 9 HP to his name. And he gets blown up from Zantares. Go ahead and connect onto the CT side and stop any shenanigans, and he's about to toss that in right now. Zantares, though, on the other side of that smoke, HE just before it. That's going to do damage. That's going to soften up a few targets, but Snappy goes in for the entry, and Diha will oblige with a second. Suddenly looking better for ENCE here. That smoke's about to clear.
Crucial entry coming in from Snappy there. Followed up by Diha as well, and they will be punished for the hunt. And if I'm ENCE, you don't really go for more here. I'm saying that. He got a decent buy. Money still won't be.
You see, you have really scrappy buys, and the CTs are limping in with a couple of deagles here or there as Emor's head is removed. I was about to turn their attention on this B side. It's Xfloud, the 157. They have the 1 pistol, the weakest member on the team has been cauterized, and in doing so, B site has fallen again.
They've had to go for the save.
Fire, who have proven themselves a worthy opponent. Now the nades coming in. Flash is good, forces Zantares off the angle, but he's still alive, still a threat with the AK. Not for much longer. This time, down to 25 HP, somehow still alive, and somehow surviving to take another life. But Calyx doubles up with his AK, makes this a little bit more costly. If Madden was to peek out in this angle, he'd probably be fragged down from his left-hand side, but walks
It's going to be buy coming in anyway for the side of Eternal Fire. Retake it to just hold on to their weapons. And now ENCE streak of their own, now 4 in a row together as Calyx. So that flash
really awkward. It was a nice flick as well. That is the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde side of Hades. ENCE spotting multiple players tossing through, but he can't escape. I expected him to underarm that Molotov just to stop the push coming in. Good shot from Woxic, though, holds the line. And while Molotov, and that will be the bomb now being planted down. Spinks with an important frag, and he will come out ahead. It's only 2 ops remaining now on Eternal Fire. Eventually, they're going to have to start going for some of these rounds, considering their economic situation. That's why Emo may be pulling the trigger on this aggression, but it proves to be his downfall. Woxic's still alive, with a kit as well. If he can get this next kill quickly, there is a way forward for him, but the flip...
tunnels, and this time around, is he going to find another one? Yes is the answer, as a danger man.
Touchdown, 50 damage done to Diha. 39 onto Hades, $300 well spent, and Zantares softening him up through the smoke, but it will not stop Diha from connecting the headshot. The flash is good, and Emo's picked up another 2.
I have no idea how Emo gets the second one. That's just ridiculous. Hades walking in through the smoke, trying to be cheeky, leaving it all on Snappy. The captain in a 1v4.
However, it does put Eternal Fire in the advantage one more time, and the spray from Calyx can only muster up the strength for 1.
Oh, Woxic's in a rough spot here. He's got his teammate nearby, though. Smoke is going to be lobbed in by Zantares, but towards mid. Looking to cut off rotation, looking to gather information. As Woxic, what was that?
And he may be called upon to pull another rabbit out of the hat. A bit more magic left perhaps in his wand yet, but it could be Zantares that makes the entirety of ENCE disappear with this AK. In the meanwhile, 12 seconds to play with this Molotov now is just coming to a conclusion. Not sure how that didn't land. Looked dead on. Sent the mass, but Spinks is going to get traded out. Bomb plant just in the nick of time. And with 10 HP, Diha has the chance to be a hero, but Woxic removes it.
It's not quite over yet.
Flashes out, but Calyx has already played this hand. Eternal Fire on the back foot. But they managed to come out and break through the shackles last round, but Zantares goes walkies, and Hades will leash him again. Worth his weight in gold with this off, with these kills, and now Woxic has really woken up. You can see the change, the confidence building up as he gets boosted back onto the site. ENCE run a 5v3 as Woxic gets caught with an incendiary out his pants down. Slight gap in the smoke, but that will do more harm to Emo than good. Leaving
Might opt to even go for just a light investment, some pistols and armor, perhaps, Madden. Oh, the timing, but his position known now. Am I going to be expecting the second player here? He's not. Spinks.
Will passage through on the middle side, but Snappy is all alone. He needs a little bit of backup here. If that AWP gets up close, though, Snappy may very well get the opening pick. And our smoke's coming down. It's back and forth. It's chaos. You can see desperately trying to get into the action here. Oh, ENCE, they are going to get their men. Snappy gets 2 as they push through the CT spawn smoke. They get punished. I believe they're going to hunt down this man. They know that he has the AWP. They want to deal with this. The flashbang lands in his eyes, and he is up. Those shots not connecting. Looked on, but Hades is going to get punished from Woxic, the leading tower.
It's going to be haunting the nightmares of ENCE. He's still alive here towards LT.
It's going to get 1. Sprays in for a second and spills the bomb down. As has so often been the case, Emo comes out clutch when it's required. And Madden is going to get pincered and overwhelmed. Spinks in a 1-on-5. Molly tossed in, bomb spilled out, and there's Woxic.
Great sequence of splashes there. Oh, that is so important. Emo fault. Remember, it's nearby as well. X-Flat, for how long can he stand?
Oh, he's got 1. Why is the AWP going out first? Surely would have traded one of those assault rifles. And X-Flat has now fallen, has been pillaged and plundered, as Spinks removes the head of yet another.
But still, you do want to keep things healthy. You want not to hold indeed. Calyx towards long. With Woxic as well, alongside Zantares, the 2 players.
Molotov, and then the shrapnel of the HE. Emo will not miss these chances. Goal to be the target. Another Molotov down. Just stagnating and stalling this push for so long. And suddenly Spinks is all that remains with 10 seconds left on the clock. And Emo will pivot in for another.
The flashes are good. Woxic needs to find 1.
He gets 1, but will that be good enough? Because now X-Cloud is called upon. Flash is good. Spray's not quite on point, though. But now in comes down to 6. Somehow still survives. Another Molly tossed in. But Eternal Fire gonna have to start to pull the trigger and get in here. Hades all that remains now with the AK-47 has already sprayed in for one and misses out on the second. Starting money, it does at least afford ENCE the luxury of not having to worry about economy as much, but can't take anything away from how he's played here, even if they were to be unsuccessful. ENCE in the meanwhile, though, Spinks missing the shot, but Molly down, flashes in there, Spinks goes back in, and D-Hat through the smoke, perforates onto X-Floud. A good hold from ENCE after losing the first player. Eternal Fire have to push through the smoke now if they want to get onto the site anytime soon. And D-Harris continuing to turn in for kills, gets burnt to a crisp, but Woxic in a 1-on-3, close combat AWPing, missing his chance. 24 HP remains now as he's being gradually whittled down
into that wall of smokes and bullets. They just got massacred there. So Eternal Fire, nice flashes though. Spinks up close, he's taking matters into his own hands.
Molotov tossed into long doors, blocks away the tees. Will take some mid control, but not for the first time. Middle under hot contestation. Emor, he will not relent. He will not go down. Flashbang is good. The spray's on point as well, and Emor has given them a fast track towards the B site. They still have Spinks to contend with, and he will hold the line for dear life, leaving Calyx in a 1-on-3.
And 17. Map point for ENCE once more, Vince. Can they close it out is the question. Hades, oh, he's being very brave, and he's going to somehow just...
Their IGL as well, like he's carrying so much on his shoulders. Calling, fragging, entering, everything you need. And he may be called upon one more time, but Spinks will put an end to that. The rallying cry comes out from ENCE. And now Eternal Fire stuck behind smokes, are losing players at an alarmingly fast rate. X-Floud and Calyx remain, but X-Floud has found the head of D-Hat at least, and they know a second contingent player was up on Goose. However, that is Spinks, and Spinks has really come alive with the AWP in this OT. Flashbang is good, and the follow-up damage is there as well. ENCE have got it. He's potentially to dismantle ENCE on the approach. Here comes the grenades, and Emor gets one, but does get traded out. Calyx and Zantares, though, both come in as well, and Spinks, it's labored. He does get the kill, but it's at the cost of his life before Hades comes back in with one of his own. He's been tanked down to 72, but still has a chance here. Knows where one of these two players are. It's about the second player. There could be a bit of a problem, and Woxic's about to show his hand.
Instant trades taking place from Calyx and Zantares, but Woxic finished it though. And they have managed to send a couple of players down below, and a bomb should be planted very quickly. Forget the bomb, Spinks will find Woxic, and now it is a full life for at least the next few seconds. That is Hades, who's going to reply back with a shot of his own.
Two players stuck down on secret. It's the two SMGs though that can rip and tear Hades. And D-Hat has the first to fall. Hades still stuck on the site, but now he has been finalized. And Madden making moves in the meanwhile. Bomb is planted behind the site. That information will be relayed to him, but they have no kit. He's taking his time. Tech 9 spray, but
smoke left to work with for the side of ENCE.
Yeah, and I feel like on the T side, Molotovs are so important as well for executes, especially on the A side for this reason. Emor now is not going to be affected, stuck on top of the hut. This feels like a foregone conclusion now. You have no flashes, no smokes, no mollies to push out on the site with. It is dry. I don't think he's got too much left in the tank. Down he goes.
Right, apart from round number 2 where they allowed ENCE to get the bomb down. Okay, just a wide swing. Hello, Hades. And good night.
The Zantara special, 3 kills, all headshots. Yes, it might be a half buy, but you can't argue with that aim. That is pixel perfect. Pristine play from Zantares. He won't be cleaning it up. He won't be.
The thing is, the T side's really, really strong, but it's the CD side's even more dominant. So whatever rounds they get on his T side is always going to be a bonus as Zantares once
chance his window of opportunity. But speaking of which, the windows have yet to be broken, so that is a sound cue that will give away this play. In the open, D-Hat down to 25 HP. Emor now will be punishing Hades, and even though they got that trade outside, everything else has just come apart at the seams. Eternal Fire just in such fire.
Members, this is much faster from ENCE on the buy round as well. Quickly pivoting towards lower bomb side. X-Floud though instantly.
Even though the deck may be stacked in favor of Eternal Fire, this is still going to be a rough retake to look in for because they could be tripping over one another. HG out with a flash as well. But this SG could go above and beyond. Hades finally gets a kill alongside Madden, and there's another one. Everyone falling down on the approach now from Eternal Fire, but Zantares.
Well, so money's not going to be a problem. The buy is going to be coming in, and the opt out as well from Mr. Woxic, because Zantares once again continuing to be a problem here.
At least one kill. 13 frags. And we're in round 8. Goes to show the impact he's had. Hades in the meanwhile, though, no idea this is a possibility. Yes, it was smoked, but Calyx was stood right there. And although Woxic may have got the first, he would have been swept anyway, and Madden just puts the bullet in his head. Man, some of those entries, Blair, were lightning fast.
Have so much cash to work with.
Yeah, that's just how comfortable and easy it was for the first 6 or so rounds, but they have lost. Okay. More from Madden. A man possessed, a man aggressive, and Calyx, though, will stand his ground. Valiantly sweeps aside 2, giving Woxic a chance now to clutch the rest as he goes round the silos, should get the backstab in, but Snappy has snuck his way down to the B site. 70 HP remains, but he's in a 1-on-3. Just changing the angle of the door gives him a little bit more cover. A hit and run, knowing where one of these players are, spots the second.
Many times yet this happened. Here comes a hit from ENCE.
Calyx has done so much though in these rounds, and now Emor at a different angle, spins around, pivots in for 2 on a swivel, turrets in, and we'll be dropping down. Another kill to Emor. 3 frags will be where he is put to rest, but he can rest easy, knowing that Madden now to 1-on-3 is so unlikely to pull off this clutch. But that's the main. It will, however, cover a couple of angles and allow Madden to maybe peek in and clutch this yet, but Woxic is watching with the AWP.
I am sure that he saw a pixel from Madden and was just jiggling around the corner. Hades, though, with the AWP, he's got to find Woxic early on as ramp control being contested here.
Evicting ENCE time after time. Hades not falling for that shoulder peek. There's a player to his right. That's Xfloud, though, and he gets baited in.
Rooms. This is something to work with. This is some information they have to work with. But the only avenue here, seemingly for ENCE, is coming from the ramp position. It's Snappy trying to catch Xfloud off guard, and now he knows the jig is up. He knows where they're coming in from. He's going to find 3, almost the 4th as well, as Antares will steal the kill away. But
understandably, the statistics don't lie. What we've seen from ENCE in the past doesn't lie, and yet they've been made to look like a very ordinary nuke team so far, as they look to explode out, courtesy of Snappy with a Tech 9. It could just be the run and gun that yields another round. Snappy gets 2, but they didn't check their angles. Calyx now, he goes in for 2 of his own. And Madden's the last man standing, not for the first time in a clutch, but he's managed to bypass this angle. Xfloud may not be anticipating this now. He knows where both players are. This is winnable for Madden. First frag down, leaving Woxic all that remains with the opening, peeks in and takes down Madden.
Calyx to its upper, and then of course Woxic with the AWP. This time he's not missing a shot. He's finding that impact, and ENCE are struggling. Xantares once again getting the opening, and Emor, he's continuing his reign of terror. So unreasonable some of the shots he's hitting.
Hades with the SG, not for the first time though, has put him down. It's been very much a team effort from Eternal Fire. Meanwhile, Diha has gone cold, 2 for 12, and he was a huge, big unit on the Dust 2 performance. Woxic in the meanwhile though makes short work of Spinks. Now Xfloud's gonna be called upon, gets 1, that should in the win column. But Hades gonna be taking the initiative, getting in aggressively. The spray's not there. Both of the remaining 2.
Even the way they're playing this upper bomb side, they're mixing things up. They're not playing the same old defaults. Confusing things as Antares is going to find D-Head and Woxic.
And the vent dive comes in. So often they've got into these positions with 1 or 2 players remaining, but now they should have more bodies. Or I say that, but Xfloud is putting him to bed right here. 46 HP remains for him. 2 players cross. Hades takes his head clean off, but Antares is still there. And Spinks is all alone for quite some time because Snappy is still outside. He's in no position to help his teammate out, and he's going to have to run out into the open. Calyx should have him.
Indeed, the scoreline, Eternal Fire have put up a mountain of a defense here against this ENCE T-side of nuke, and they're looking to make it 13 wins. This has been a masterclass from the Turks.
Oh, they've played this so well. ENCE, though, half is going to be coming up. And we were discussing before how ENCE have been so good on their CT sides.
I don't know. Their defense is really, really solid, don't get me wrong, but they have almost no margin of error as Spinks.
Time already dwindling, about half of the fuse remaining. Hades has lost his teammate, sprays in for 1, but there is Calyx and another. 6
played CD side coming out from Eternal Fire, and here we go, a fast hit coming in towards the upper bomb side.
ENCE need their first pistol round of the series, and Madden gets 3 kills for the Julies, make it 4. On for the ace. He is just destroyed.
The repurchase coming in, so Madden and Snappy, alongside Hades, pretty low on funds, but the AUG in the hands of Hades on nuke. And this is going to be a real challenge. This is where they show that what we said was true. This is where we get to see what this defense can do for ENCE. And speaking of defense, Hades is doing everything.
And yeah, ENCE the CT side, we know it's a known quantity how good it is. Is it good enough though to come back from this deficit? The defeat was an interesting decision. Emo in the meanwhile though, 16 HP has been finalized from Snappy's downstairs, but Snappy on the receiving end of Calix's AK has at least came back with one of his own. But it is going to be a post plant. Meanwhile, Woxic though comes out second best in that spray. Hades have to go above and beyond once more. How many times do we see Eternal Fire successfully retake the B site? Spinks in the meanwhile though will finalize onto Calix, who was low, and our X-Floud at least has the bomb plant for his position, but they must expect this one as the spray is in, and neither of them were checking deep angle, and this timing may work out in his favor. Zantares has no idea he's about to be a goner. Does spin around, which would have been a bit of a jump scare for Spinks, I'm sure. But he still put the bullets where it counted. Now Madden from above, solid damage. Diha gets traded out from Woxic, but X-Floud is turned away before Emo makes moves up on heaven. They have no idea about this one. Emo's biding his time. Spin around from Madden, but it's too little too late. Now the spray's good. So much damage done to Hades, who's finished off 2-on-2. And ENCE with 25 seconds to try and deny this bomb plant. A low Calix is finalized, but Woxic is still in with a chance. 15 kills to his name. Spotting the first player on main, but now here comes Snappy in the meanwhile. Gonna go in for that wide swing. Woxic removes him, but there's the wall.
In half, but still a long way to go. 14-7 is still heavily favoring the side of Eternal Fire as Emor dropping in from above, and they're just shutting this one down. Their upper bomb side is getting cracked open, and Madden has to go big.
19 kills. But they find themselves a player behind. It's going to be a wide swing in as well from Snappy, who does get one. Woxic down to 65. Snappy playing with his food, gets punished. The spray, not quite there. Through that smoke, this round is a done deal. There's a slight gap of the smoke as well, but so Woxic misses, but he doesn't get punished. Madden.
It's going to be 2-0 for Eternal Fire. In all honesty, if you look at the way Dust 2 played out, and they're not quite done yet. Spinks with a sole M4A1 able to find a kill as Zemo is trying to hunt down Hades.
Oh, this could be going on a little bit longer. Hades finding some purple patch with that deagle, but Calix, time to use here. Molly down, but it seems like it's more of a ruse. Diha though splatters Calix with the deagle, and Woxic gets dinked down to 9. Should be good enough to yield this round. Woxic going to be caught with the bomb out. Man, that's ridiculous. Snappy survived that on 2 HP. I have no idea. He's finally gone down, and he's got caught a couple times with all 5 players healthy, all 5 players hungry to get this map finished off. Hades, though, is going to give them a lifeline, which is taken away from Emo as he flatlines Diha with his AK, still in position, but will be coming out second best. Zantares there as the strength in numbers approach comes in, and Hades with it all to do. 1-on-3 with the AWP, and Zantares puts him down. Eternal Fire exploiting the short lack of presence, but not getting any kills so far. Pushing into the site, Emo holds the line for 1. The same from Spinks. And with smokes in the eyes of Eternal Fire, they can't do much. I say that as Woxic puts...
Huge advantage smoke room as well, but smoke is not on the bomb, and that means they have to go for the wide swing, and this is messy. Oh, this is so messy from ENCE. Emo and X-Cloud to just chip on in, and Snappy left alone.
That being said, though, the bomb plant does afford them 3 rifles. And we saw them win a couple of rounds, especially on that nuke performance with very little, but Zantares and Woxic's in trouble there. It won't. But now Emo is going to take the opportunity to try and pick this one up. So Diha in a 1-on-5. And I tell you what, if Eternal Fire picked this one up without losing too many casualties...
A gargantuan ask of him. Primarily on the CT side, but it found so much success. And ENCE, they should be aware of that.
Yeah, I think on the talent predictions, everyone said that they fancied ENCE to win this game. I'm trying to remember. I think everyone did go for ENCE. Understandably so as well. In this round, though, Diha has connected it. And although he can pick up that M4, he's already been spammed down. However, Hades on the prowl behind won't be required as to a second player's presence. And that allows Hades to go for the wide swing, but he comes out second best. Diha now in a spot of trouble. He's got players above him, 1 on CT side, bombs ticking away all amongst this now, though. But Diha shows his hand, and he pounces in for 2. It could be a 3rd as well, but Woxic does have a bit of time to play with, but now he may have run out, and he's run out of health anyway.
So a retake would be problematic, which is why we have such a forward positioning for Woxic, and his days are numbered. His days are numbered, but somehow stays alive.
HP, just 1 straight bullet through the smoke from Woxic could be seal a deal. Calix, in the meanwhile, has a couple of players line up for him. Sprays, but does damage, but no kill. kills and goes back in for more. They still have yet to get this plant down. Snappy runs out of ammunition, whips out the deagle, is doing fatal damage, picks up 2 frags, and now Spinks picks it up and tries to run away with this round. Good kill from Calix though. As you highlighted, could be the determining factor, and now Spinks capitalizes on.
Time being, it's only on Emor. FAMAS in hand. Molotov, that's a giveaway we're coming in for, but it's such a deep molly that it means he can take this fight, but he will be punished.
xCloud now has to go above and beyond, runs out of the ammunition. You see it again.
Considering the complete lack of control, Xantares at least able to find Spinks, but still the... He's already on the hunt here, finds Calix. Won't be expecting the second going poking any further. Hades is gonna lie.
Flash up and over, but Calix through the smoke is gonna pounce in. Flash precedes this peak. It could be curtains for ENCE. As they go around slowly, and Xantares will show his hand, but it's snatched away with a flashbang. Runs out of ammunition, runs out of. But they do have xCloud, the ace up the sleeve, the ace in the hole to try and pounce in, and he'll do just that. Leaves Madden in such an
bit of cash in the bank will be out. ENCE though, down to what could be the final buy if they lose this round, but Madden this time Xantares will be caught. Calix looking to perforate someone through the smoke. Madden waiting with the edge. The flash is good. How is Madden even alive? I don't know, but Calix.
Once again, Calix on his CT side is having so much impact, but Woxic watching the wrong angle. Fends off from Diha, who riddles him with bullets and looking to try and turn.
They get taken down, they don't save any weapons. Even if they save like a couple of guns, the rest of them would have to.
On the B side, and no one is there to deal with him. Emor in the meanwhile, though, we've already seen these kind of plays a couple of times from him. He likes to get aggressive through a middle.
But they're slowing it down. Diha finding the B bomb set, tossing in a bit of utility as well, and here comes the push. This is
60
huge.
seconds on the clock, and Eternal Fire seem to have a very good read of the situation. Multiple players stacked over here. Smoke on side, but Emor's playing behind it. Flashes are good, but Calix's spray lets him down. Emor tries to go in for 2, but it's only 1. And now Xantares has been split apart as well. Woxic missing a very important shot. Gets the second though. Now D has less alive. He knows he's on the site and just flicks up.
Went for that fight there in a 1v1, hoping to catch Woxic off guard, but Woxic too quick. Nice flashbang, but a belabored spray for Emor means he won't really have too many bullets remaining in the magazine.
So honestly, that was nearly a complete disaster. Diha, the timing does readjust just before Emor was able to pass a bullet between his eyes, though. Woxic will make sure that this.
He just turns away, but now he knows he hears them, and he's gonna find one, not the second though. Snappy shouldn't be able to win this round, and it's all down now to the final man, and Calix is ready.
But they cannot afford to take anything for granted. Well-placed smoke, and Woxic taking damage through that smoke as well with the orb. Peeks out, there's a gap in the smoke. Did he just flick up and hit Hades? I think he did, but it's at the cost of his life.
And they heard the drop down, Vince. They're going for the wall bangs as well, but this is uncomfortable for Eternal Fire.
This is really uncomfortable. They do have 2 players, though. Xantares, pixel perfect on his aim. He's looking to try and give some free haircuts. Gets 2 in the process. Is looking to go above and beyond. Pick up a 4th if he can. DR in the meanwhile, though, going to be going for the peak, and Spix does secure it.
Let's find out now. No op this time around for Woxic, though. Just the M4s. There's Calix. Okay, just lines it up to perfection. Finding Madden, who has been a bit of a demon in his ramp position, and they know where Xantares likes to play. They know exactly where he likes to play, and Hades with a pre-fire able to.
Xantares has gone down though. He's been typically a huge bastion of hope. Emor in the meanwhile though, making sure he's able to relocate up close. The smokes give him the luxury of being able to fall back as well into his teammates' arms, but it's Snappy that rips him apart. Minute left on the clock, 2-on-3. Molly down into the site, gonna try and stall this a bit longer. But there are counteractive mollies also tossed into the generators. Stops xCloud from peeking the left-hand angle. So Spinks can feel comfortable going for this full-on plant. And Snappy has his back covered. In terms of the utility, there's only a smoke between the 4 players here, but Woxic has alleviated the pressure. The spray nearly really apply all the pressure that could be required and win this one out. Hades, that flick abruptly if the call comes out, but there is a flashbang which is going to be peeked into, and that's Hades who goes in for more, but he whiffs his spray this time. And Xantares, even though he's fully flat, well, there's no second guessing this, is there? They have the cross from Snappy, but he's all alone. He is isolated from the wall of smokes. And Xantares takes out the sledgehammer and applies it directly to the forehead. Post-plant comes in as well. CT stuck behind the site, but Madden's giving them a lifeline. Madden springs in for another one. And seeing an extra play on the sandbags, they know where the 2 remaining Ts are. And now that those positions have been compromised, it's all down to Xantares to have impact. And although he does get one, Madden is there to trade again. Already with 3 kills in this round and make it 4. But just yet, they will have a reprieve after this round, assuming that they get it done convincingly. But this round is certainly going to be a difficult one. And Emor lines them up. The timing, it looked like they wanted to try and go for a flash, and he gets a 3rd as well. He's just off to the races, taking heads left and right. And we were talking almost like ENCE were the firm favorites to take this round, where they've been obliterated. Oh. Spinks takes a stray bullet. Down at 45, he falls. I don't think Diha is going to get checked from the first player in, but he can't make the most of it.
To maybe Diha or Spinks, perhaps? That's a bit of a bait play here, Vince. They're grouping up together. Surely he checks. Surely he checks with Snappies. Good for one. But they still have this AK to work with.
He's been very aggressive in this series. He's biding his time, playing a little bit more patiently. Madden and meanwhile, look at the call, but there's multiple USBs here. There's 4 players here. There's a stack now walking into the trap, but that's a big kill. Molly may not extend. That could make a huge amount of difference, but it's just the USP. The USP is going to connect with 1, and that's where it will fall short. Spinks solo with 2 deagles. Out of position, Molotov down on the window. And the T's try to vacate the premises, but D catches them on the cross. He won't lose his life, though, as a result. 1-4 trade may not bode very well for ENCE, but another perfectly timed flashbang as Spinks runs out of ammunition, but Madden's there to back him up. Emor gets aggressive, but Snappy will be dealing the fatal damage. And now Kalak stuck on the site, goes in for 1. If they peek him 1 by 1, he could very well clutch this one down. They nearly like you.
Which is worked out for them as well. We know how good it can be. In the meantime, Emor won't find much success.
The flash is good though, and Spinks panics, takes the shot, gives his position away, still alive, has backup from Spinks alongside Diha. And with a smoke down on the boxes, now he can reposition Diha up on the boxes. Meanwhile, Madden has put down a frag. Nice little comeback though. Expect Snappy to be in this spot. He gets drawn away from the position as the op shot comes out from Spinks, trying to bait him, lull him into a fall.
Nuke was a statement. And sure, there's a caveat, Dia, better not. And Walks, if he just held the angle. If you watch someone like Zairu hold an angle, Vince, he would just hold onto the spot where he is going for the jump, but hold on, what is that? Round number 25, Vince, you said it best. This could be the round Madden.
Speaking of shots through smoke and wall bangs, he's gonna have to go pick up another one, but the smoke clears, it fades as Snappy is putting down players left and right. And although he will fall on his sword, they have a rotational play in effect as well, which is about to come round and tighten that noose in the form of Madden. Gets caught though, spray is good, Kalak's still alive.
Timing. I think the B play just went away from his position. Okay, there we go. The Molotov's the dead giveaway, and Kalak should be dead in 3, 2.
That is 5 match points. Meanwhile, by the way, Fours did win the game against Outsiders. As Xantares, though, puts down the first frag in this match and a second as well. Gonna try and hold on to this game. Make sure it doesn't slip away just yet. Spray transfer slightly awry. Nice effort from Madden. But they position this, though. Spinks is still stuck on the back boxes. Flashbang through. Frag not forthcoming. And yet, this is where Spinks can toss the smoke in and back to the longer haul if they need it. Oh, the timing is so...
The scaffolding position, but there is a player lying in wait nearby. Flash is not good, though. Hades tucked on in. Spinks is to find a second kill as well, and only 3 remain for ENCE. Make that 2.
Oh, they're dropping like flies right now, although there's a bit of a resurgence. Snappy...